right, great. We'll go ahead and begin. Howdy, I'm Sunny Jain, and on behalf of myself, Alec, Antonio, Austin, Nico, and Sri, we are pleased to present to you PaRX Parking Assistant. Before we begin, we would like to discuss a story that's all too familiar. Meet Alec. Alec's new to the city of Austin, and he's having trouble finding decent, affordable parking. He drives around in circles, trying to understand the city parking system, but to no avail. He takes a left turn, and the parking lot is full. Then he runs into reserved parking. He even finds parking just for Beagle owners only, but not parking for Alec. As Alec scurries through the city of Austin trying to find decent parking, he takes a left turn, a right turn, but still not manages to find anything. Finally, he ends up giving up and pays way more than he should be for parking. Had Alec downloaded the PaRX app, the story would have been much, much different. Using the PaRX app, Alex could leverage a user feedback system to locate free and low-cost parking spots. Think, for example, a Waze, but for parking. Suddenly, a world of free parking opens up to Alec. He finds parking right across the street. He also finds another parking down the block. He even finds a parking on East 27th Street. Alec did it. He found the perfect parking spot.
So is Alec's problem a problem that people tend to encounter? Well, to find that out, we conducted market validation, and we had a survey and interviews that acquired 142 responses. 80% of the total respondents reported having problems with parking on a regular basis. The main problems include finding parking, affordability of parking, and then parallel parking. 90% of the respondents that reported daily trouble with parking's main parking problem was finding parking. Through more of our customer surveys and interviews, we found that our main target segment should be travelers because they're unfamiliar to areas. And then we will target drivers in high traffic areas where the parking situation is continuously changing, and then drivers in time crunch situations.
So what's our solution to this very real problem? I give you PaRX, Parking Assistance. PaRX Parking Assistance is a dedicated parking assistance app with features I'll go over now. Firstly, we have a color-coded map interface, as you can see on the right side of your screen. It's also classified parking areas. So green, the green shaded areas represent free parking, the orange shaded areas represent low cost parking, and the red areas represent high cost parking. Additionally, we will have real-time parking availability through two different ways. Our first way will leverage GPS to tell you when another one of our users leaves their parking spot near you. And secondly, we will partner with businesses to give you real-time availability in every parking lot. Our fourth feature is a user feedback system, which I will go into greater depth later. So this all brings together our cost proposition, our value proposition, help drivers find affordable parking, save time, and help others do the same thing. Now let's talk about our user feedback system, which is a point-based rewards loyalty system in which you can level up. So first, let's talk about how you can get points in this system. So users can get points by doing quality checks at parking lots, announcing their departure early, and even adding additional parking locations that we might have missed. Through gaining points, they gain access to rewards. These rewards include additional features like predictive parking, even things like cash and coupons.
In order to launch our app in these various markets, we developed a robust market penetration strategy, which includes both traditional marketing channels as well as digital marketing channels. For traditional marketing channels, we will utilize banner ads and posters in places like airports, concerts, and rental cars, places where you can find travelers. In terms of digital marketing, we plan to utilize social media marketing as well as advertising in other travel apps such as Airbnb, Priceline, and of course, Waze. This way, we are targeting travelers. In addition, we will have a focused growth strategy where we focus in Austin during ACL due to the high influx of travelers that enter the city. In 2019, there were over 450,000 travelers and attendees at ACL with a $265 million impact. that may be a great place to start. In addition, we have identified our market sizing through conducting external industry research. We found that our target market, which are travelers in Austin, Texas, are 17 million users. Scoping it out a little bit further, we identified our serviceable addressable market as travelers in Texas with 73 million. And then finally, our total addressable market, 230 million travelers in the United States on an annual basis. This is quite a large market. We also conducted a competitive analysis with both our direct competitors as well as substitution competitors, which includes both Park Mobile as well as Uber and Lyft. We found that we are planning to offer features that none of our competitors offer, including real-time parking availability, the ability to identify parking quality metrics, as well as the color coding system for different labels and regions. We really have a unique product. Of course, with every great idea needs great financials, because we're all here to make money at the end of the day anyways, right? With that in mind, our team painstakingly conducted our 10-year pro forma projections, all the way from year 10, which we will go into further. First, let's look at our revenue generation streams. We identified multiple different avenues for revenue generation, which includes traditional digital advertising, modern digital advertising, as well as data monetization. Traditional digital advertising includes cost per click, cost per 1,000 impressions, and cost per download, which are industry standard traditional digital advertising based on advertising you would find in other technology companies. For modern digital advertising, we plan to utilize unique digital advertising solutions, which includes branded pins, promoted search ads, and zero-speed takeover, all which are modeled after what Waze currently uses. Finally, we plan to monetize on the data that we collect from our users. Projecting this out by 10 years, and using Park Mobile as a benchmark, we plan to make 1 million users by year 5, a number that we believe is very sensible and reasonable, both on conservative points. Finally, we're going to take a look at our cost structure, which includes both standard technology, which is modeled after a standard technology startup firm, that with consideration of both app development, infrastructure, and maintenance. Similarly, we have projected this outward using assumptions based on the industry standards. Finally, we project that we will be making money by year 4 with positive cash inflow and break even by year 5, and also a very reasonable number. We have also conducted analysis using a conservative, a most aggressive, and a most likely scenario. In all scenarios, we end up profitable.
So I just want to say a special thank you from Team PaRX, a special thank you to all the mentors that provided us information, and a special thank you to everyone listening and providing us an opportunity. We're very thankful, and I'm personally thankful for the wonderful individuals that wanted to be a part of my team and the product we were able to produce for you guys. Thank you again. Now we're open up to any questions.
I got a question for you guys. This is Michael Harding.
Howdy.
Now, at the very beginning, you mentioned partner with other businesses. Exactly how are you going to approach the other businesses, and what's the kind of idea on that?
You want to get that?
So yeah. So basically, that would involve reach out probably through email or something, maybe in person to start off with. You want to reach out to the companies and propose working with them to get access to their cameras, which we can use for data and all the real-time parking services that we can offer. And negotiations for that could include things like bringing people into their parking lots and advertising to people that come there and are right next to their business. So that's a little bit of extra advertising for them. So.
And that's off of our branded pins model that Waze uses. That Sonny could go into more detail if you'd like.
Absolutely. And, this is a unique digital solution. To better explain what branded pins are, when you're on the app and you are actually on a route to a parking spot, companies can pay to have their business appear on the map itself. For example, if you're a coffee shop, you can have that appear. Companies currently partner with Waze, and they pay up to $100 a day for these features. In addition, zero-speed takeover is a similar aspect where if the car stops in one area for more than 3 seconds, the app has the ability to offer a featured business. So using these various technologies and then, of course, discounting our product to Waze by more than 60%, we believe that we have something that advertisers would like to sell.
Yeah, we see our user interface as a map of advertising that provides almost limitless advertising potential.
How does that answer the question?
That's great. I have one more follow-up question. I saw in the financials, marketing cost, I think it said 60,000. So how is that derived and what is that made up of?
The 60,000 in Mark.
And Mark, I'll go ahead and take that one. So our mentor was the one that brought up this number to us, and he said that the range would be around $50,000 to $60,000 a year. So we decided to even go above and beyond that a little bit and have the opportunity to grow from that number, because marketing is going to be essential, especially at the beginning and later, to really get those users that we project to get.
Right. And what does that cost encompass?
It's the different marketing that were brought up before. I don't know if you would like to go to that slide, Sonny, that I believe Alec talked about, or it was you.
The traditional digital.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I can just add on to that, and let me go ahead and scroll here. So obviously as a technology company, we're trying to reach aggressive growth. And so using both traditional marketing as well as digital marketing, we're trying to expand as fast as possible and capitalize that these drivers, there's a need for this app. And so through aggressive marketing strategy, we believe that we can achieve that goal, because of course our product is based, or the success of our product is based on gamified engagement, customers being excited about our product, and our user submission system where users can add feedback. So obviously this will require a higher marketing budget.
Does that answer your question, Michael?
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Stephanie Powell here. I have a couple questions for you. My first one is, when you gave the number of the 73 million potential target segment in Texas, where did that number come from?
People that travel in Texas annually.
Okay, can you elaborate on that for me? Because that's actually one of my other questions is when you say travel, because that can mean a lot of different things. And so I'm a little unclear on what you mean by travelers in general, and additionally still where you're getting that number from.
That number comes from a study that I particularly didn't grab, but I think Sonny did. And it was basically saying the amount of drivers that tend to be in Texas on an annual basis and that travel within Texas.
Absolutely. And if I can just take it back, when we identified our target segment, we were trying to find, through our surveys and customer validation, we realized that travelers are the one that can benefit most from our product. And so, in addition to drivers in high traffic areas and drivers in time crunch situations, the travelers are our main target audience. So by starting in Austin and then moving forward into Texas, we calculated the number of annual domestic travelers in Texas, and we collected the number 73 million, which we believe would be a great serviceable addressable market for this area.
So here's a couple of things to consider on that, and these are the pieces that come up to me as far as concerning points, is that I have no doubt that number is fairly accurate. However, where are they traveling to? Because if I'm traveling to Henderson, Texas, I don't need your services. Henderson, Texas is a teeny tiny small town. So it would appear to me to be that this is probably best utilized, because I agree, this would be a great use, but for people that are traveling to highly populated areas, and particularly those traveling in for events. You mentioned I think it was ACL. And so I agree with all of that, but that's something that I would consider when you're looking at numbers, because 73 million travelers in Texas doesn't actually, unless I'm just missing a piece, doesn't actually give you the number that you need. Because again, if someone's traveling back and forth, and what if I'm going from here to Dallas all the time, but I have a relative that I'm staying with? Just little things like that can actually get into that and can affect that number.
Yeah.
And ideally, we would like to service like Dallas, Fort Worth metropolitan area, Houston metropolitan area, San Antonio metropolitan area, areas like that.
All right. Sorry. So time is up. We are on a schedule. I'm so sorry, but make sure that you guys connect with them. They're a great team to work with. So we're going to get started with the other presentation.